All please settle down. We'd like to get started on the show. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. For those of you who don't know, I'm Kapil's older brother. So just a little bit about Kapil before we get started, and in particular his musical talents. Kapil's been a musician for a very long time. He started with the piano when he was fairly young, and it was a bit of a chore. He didn't always want to practice. He went along with that for a couple of years. Gradually, he transitioned into an South Indian percussion instrument known as the mridangam. He really seemed to take to this instrument. He really enjoyed it, and in particular, it reminded him quite a bit of his late grandfather, who was very skilled in this musical instrument and was quite well known in his local area for playing the instrument. As he proceeded with the mridangam, he found that he really enjoyed percussion in particular. Eventually, he transitioned to the instrument that he is going to be playing tonight, which is known as the Ghatam. The Ghatam is a clay pot-like instrument that has a particular tonal quality, and as you'll see tonight, it's a very unique and rare instrument. A little bit about Kapil as a musician and as an individual in general. One of the things I really love about my brother is that he is extremely focused. He is like a laser. Tunnel vision doesn't even do it justice. When he picks something and decides to do it, he sticks with it to the exclusion sometimes of common sense. He's not always able to take things into context because he's so focused on what he wants to do. It's a bit of an inside joke in our family that Kapil won't always know exactly what's going on because Kapil's in Kapil world. For example, just recently, my father and my brother traveled to Chennai in southern India to do some intensive training with Kapil's guru so that he could prepare for the Arangetram tonight. On the way back, as they were stopping in O'Hare and going through TSA and getting all the boxes checked, my dad proceeded through very smoothly. Next came my brother, and the TSA official asked, "Where are you traveling from?" And Kapil promptly answered, "Zurich," at which point my dad had to intervene and say, "No, actually we were traveling from India, my apologies." And that's just an indication of how Kapil is and how he thinks. For him, Zurich was where he came from, very simple. So, in general, Kapil is a great kid, and he's very committed to whatever he picks, and that's why tonight is so exciting. We're really excited to share with you how much he's grown as a musician and come into his own, and that's what tonight's going to be about. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce the musicians that will be accompanying him tonight. First will be one of his first teachers in percussion, Shankar Vishwanathan. Shankar is a very versatile musician. He's very skilled in both mridangam, the South Indian drum, and an instrument called the morsing, which he will be playing tonight as an accompaniment. By day, Shankar is a very successful entrepreneur and has founded a few very successful IT businesses. And by night, he basically is the Portland area's go-to South Indian percussion instructor. He started a school known as the Shankara Drumming Group so that he could teach Portland area youth about South Indian drumming, and in particular the mridangam. So we're very honored to have him join Kapil tonight. I'd like to invite him on the stage. Also accompanying Kapil tonight, we have a young gentleman named Vishal Sapuram. Vishal grew up in Austin, Texas. He attended the University of Texas at Austin, where he holds bachelor's degrees in economics and in Sanskrit. Vishal's been a musician and a very skilled one from a very young age. In fact, he has been instructing others in musical instruments since the age of 10. So he is tonight accompanying Kapil on an instrument known as the Chitravina, which is otherwise known as a fretless lute. Most veenas, or lutes, that people are familiar with in Indian classical music have frets, and thus the way that you play the instrument is very different. This is an extremely difficult instrument to play and very rare, and Vishal is gracious enough to accompany Kapil tonight on that instrument. So I'd like to invite Vishal onto the stage. And finally, our star of the show, a rising senior at Westview High School, the one and only Kapil K. Varma. I'd like to invite him on the stage. All right, and with that, we are ready to get started with the show. Just a few quick housekeeping items. Please silence all your cell phones. No flash photography from the audience, please. It will distract the musicians. And finally, for those of you who are looking for the restrooms, they are right outside the auditorium. You can't miss them. So with that, sit back and enjoy the show. Thank you.